Tonight, after you finally shut the laptop, your paycheck has already been attacked. Not dramatically, quietly. Rent took its bite, groceries took another. Subscriptions slipped through while you were working. Your phone bill, insurance, debt payments, delivery fees, taxes. All of it moved before you even had time to ask one brutal question. If I worked this many hours, why do I still feel behind? And here's why. You were taught that exhaustion is the price of a better life. Work longer, earn more, stay disciplined, don't complain. Maybe you redoing 10 hours a day, maybe 12. Maybe you the person grinding 15 hours a day, 7 days a week, telling yourself it will all be worth it one day. But here's the thing. More hours do not automatically mean more freedom. Sometimes, more hours just mean a bigger cage. That sounds wrong because modern money culture sells work like survival. If you stop, you fall. If you rest, you lose. If you don't answer the message, take the shift, chase the promotion, or monetize the weekend, that means death for your future self. At least, that's what the system wants you to feel. But for most of human history, survival did not look like this. Anthropologists studying hunter-gatherer groups in the 1960s, including communities like the Sand People of the Kalahari, found something that still makes modern workers uncomfortable. Basic survival tasks often took around 3 to 5 hours a day. Hunting, gathering, preparing food, the core work of staying alive. Not 12, not 16, 3 to 5. No, that does not mean ancient life was perfect. Disease could kill you. Injury could kill you. A bad season could kill you. We are not romanticizing a world without medicine, plumbing, or antibiotics. But the money lesson is sharp. Modern life did not simply give you comfort. It also built a machine where comfort comes with bills that renew every month. And those bills force you to sell more of your time to keep standing still. So now the question is not, why are you tired? The question is, how much of your life is your lifestyle secretly charging you? You look at your paycheck after working all week, and the danger is not just that the number is too small. The danger is that the number trains you to trade your whole life for scraps, then calls that normal. And here's why. Most people do not lose their money in one dramatic disaster. They bleed it out through ordinary days. Rent hits, insurance hits, subscriptions hit, food prices creep up, gas, childcare, debt payments, phone bills, little fees you barely notice. By the time your wages arrive, half of that money has already been claimed by people who got paid before you even touched it. So now ask the real question. If you work 8, 10, maybe 15 hours a day, 7 days a week, what are you actually buying? A better life, or just permission to survive another month? But here's the thing. More work does not automatically mean more wealth. That is the trap if your income rises. But every system around you is designed to absorb the increase. You are not climbing. You are running harder on ground that keeps moving backward. Economists call it cost of living pressure. Workers call it exhaustion. Your body calls it a threat. Look at the contrast. In parts of the UK and Europe, people often treat paid leave, shorter hours, and work-life balance as basic protections. In the US, millions are pushed to see burnout as ambition. Same modern economy, different rules, different outcomes. That means this is not just personal discipline. It is a money structure, and AI makes the whole thing sharper. If technology can produce more with fewer human hours, then ordinary people should become richer in time. Instead, the fear is that companies use it to cut workers, squeeze wages, and keep the gains at the top. That is not progress for you. That is automation turning into a bill you pay with your life. So when someone says, "I am rich in time," that is not a soft little quote. That is a financial statement. Because if your money buys everything except rest, conversation, family, health, and freedom, then your paycheck is not wealth. It is a leash with direct deposit. Now look at your own life for 1 second. Not your dream life, your actual calendar, your actual paycheck, your actual bills. How many real conversations did you have this week? Not texts, not voice notes, not work calls where everyone pretends to care. Actual face-to-face, human contact, where nobody was trying to sell, report, manage, impress, or escape. For most people, the number is lower than they want to admit. And here's why that matters. Ancient humans were not rich in cash, but they were rich in usable time. They spent that time with their people. Modern workers are told they are richer because the salary is higher, the phone is smarter, the apartment has Wi-Fi, and the fridge has options. But if your money only buys you more bills, more subscriptions, more commuting, more recovery from exhaustion, then your income is not freedom. It is just a longer leash. This is the part nobody puts on the payslip. Your employer pays you in money, but life charges you in hours. Rent takes hours, debt takes hours, groceries take hours, insurance takes hours. That means Every monthly bill is not just a number. It is a slice of your nervous system. It is mornings you cannot get back. It is afternoons you will never spend laughing with people you love. In an ancient group, losing connection could kill you. In the modern economy, losing time does not look like death at first. It looks like being busy, then it becomes burnout. Then it becomes a life where you have money moving through your account. But almost none of your life belongs to you. So now, look at rest. Not the kind where you collapse after working yourself into the ground. Not lying in bed with one eye on your phone. Letting apps drain the last piece of attention you had left. Not ordering something you do not need, because your brain is begging for a reward. Real rest, shade, stillness, sitting near other people without performing. Watching the sky, letting the body come down before it breaks. Ancient rest was not something you had to earn. It was not a bonus. It was not a luxury product. It was part of the rhythm, effort, then recovery, work, then rest. Modern life has flipped that into work. More work, small dopamine purchase, late night scrolling, bad sleep, repeat. And that is a money mechanism. When you are exhausted, you buy faster, you cook less, you pay for convenience. You leak money into delivery apps, caffeine, impulse shopping, entertainment, and little upgrades that promise relief for a life that is too expensive to slow down. But here is the thing. The economy does not only profit from your labor, it profits from your recovery. First, it sells you the stress. Then, it sells you the escape. That is why burnout is so profitable. A rested person makes cleaner decisions. A tired person spends to survive the day. Third, play. This sounds childish until you realize how expensive it is when adults stop playing. Ancient adults played constantly. Games, wrestling, dancing, singing, making music, imitating animals, laughing until the group felt safe again. Play was not wasted time. It was social glue. It built trust. It kept the mind sharp. It taught coordination, timing, confidence, and emotional control. In a tribe that could decide who survived a hunt, who shared food, who protected each other when danger came. Modern life has separated work and fun into two different markets. Work drains you, then fun gets sold back to you as a product. A concert ticket, a streaming plan, a weekend trip on credit, a gym membership you barely use because you are too tired from earning the money to pay for it. Ancient life blended effort and enjoyment. Modern life puts a price tag on nearly every form of relief. Imagine finishing your necessary work by noon. Not because you are lazy, because the necessary work is actually finished. Then, the afternoon is not a second shift. It is movement, conversation, music, repair, learning, food, jokes, people. That is not avoiding productivity. That is what productivity was supposed to protect. And yes, we should not romanticize the past like it was a perfect wellness retreat. Ancient life had disease, injury, danger, and no modern medicine. A tooth infection could kill you. A bad wound could kill you. Childbirth could kill you. So no, the point is not that we should all run into the forest and pretend rent does not exist. The point is sharper than that. With all our technology, wages, machines, AI, automation, and financial systems, why do so many people have less control over their day than a hunter-gatherer had over theirs? That is the uncomfortable question. Because if productivity has exploded, but ordinary people still work 15 hours a day, 7 days a week, just to build a better life years from now, then the problem is not laziness. The problem is distribution. The machine got faster, but the time did not come back to the worker. In some places, especially parts of Europe and the UK, work-life balance is treated more like a real social issue. In the US, people often wear exhaustion like proof of value, but exhaustion is not wealth. Exhaustion is a warning signal. Fourth, creativity. When the human brain is not being attacked by screens, alerts, ads, deadlines, and financial panic, it starts doing something ancient and powerful. It creates. Ancient people made tools, carvings, ornaments, body decorations, music, cave paintings. They experimented. They copied animal movement. They shaped stone and bone and color into meaning. Not because an algorithm rewarded them. Not because a client approved the invoice. Not because it would monetize well. They created because a human mind with space naturally starts building. Modern people still have that mind, but it is rented out in fragments. Your attention goes to platforms. Your energy goes to employers. Your imagination goes to solving bills. And after all that, if anything is left, maybe you get one tired hour to create something of your own. That is why "I am rich in time" is not a cute quote. It is a financial statement. It means your life is not fully owned by rent, debt, algorithms, and exhaustion. Money matters. Of course it does. Poverty is brutal. Bills are real. But if the price of your paycheck is your rest, your friendships, your play, and your creative mind. Then, you are not just spending time to make money. You are letting the economy buy the parts of you that made life worth living in the first place. You feel tired before the day even starts. Your phone lights up. Your rent is due. Your paycheck is already half dead. And somehow, you are supposed to stay focused and build wealth on whatever attention is left. And here is why that matters. Humans naturally want to make things. When you actually have time, that instinct turns into repair, cooking, learning, trading, building, side income, better decisions. But when every hour is chopped into shifts, bills, alerts, and tiny emergencies, that instinct gets buried. Not because you are lazy, because the system keeps taking the one resource. Money depends on first, your attention. Ancient people spent hours observing animals, weather, plants, tracks, sounds, patterns. Their awareness had to be sharp because missing one signal could mean hunger. In their world, bad attention could kill you. Now your survival signals are different, but the danger is still there. A subscription renews, an interest rate jumps, a grocery bill quietly rises, a loan payment eats another piece of your wage. You miss the pattern, and your money bleeds out in silence. But here is the thing. For most of human history, attention was protected because it was the tool that kept people alive. Today, attention is sold. Notifications, deadlines, ads, payment plans, limited time offers, buy now, pay later buttons. They are not random noise. They are traps built around your exhaustion. So now ask the uncomfortable question. If a more balanced life was possible, why did work expand until 8, 10, even 12 hours became normal? The answer starts with agriculture. Around 10,000 years ago, farming looked like progress. More food, more storage, more stability. But it introduced something hunter-gatherer life did not require in the same way. Constant labor, fields had to be tended, crops had to be protected, seasons controlled your calendar, surplus had to be counted, guarded, taxed, and distributed. That was the beginning of a brutal money mechanism. Stability came with obligation. The more settled life became, the more people could own, owe, measure, and extract. Work stopped being only about meeting today's needs. It became tied to land, debt, hierarchy, and future payments. And that mechanism never really left. It just changed clothes. Today, it shows up as rent, mortgages, student loans, insurance, car payments, credit cards, and the quiet panic of needing next month's income before this month is even over. You are not just working for food. You are working to keep every claim on your future from turning into a crisis. That means the real financial question is not, why am I so tired? It is, who profits when I have no time left to notice where my money is going? You wake up already behind. Before your feet hit the floor, your phone is showing you the rent, the credit card balance, the subscription you forgot, the paycheck that looked decent for one day and then vanished. That is not just adult life. That is a money system built to keep your nervous system on alert. And here is why, as work expanded, hours stretched. Flexibility disappeared, cities grew, industry arrived. Then came the modern job, the commute, the inbox, the monthly billing cycle, and the idea that your value is measured by how much of your life you can sell. We did not evolve for this pace. We built it. Now we live inside it. But here is the part most people never connect to money. Your biology has not caught up to your bills. Your brain, your stress response, your need for rest, your need for human connection. All of it was shaped in a world where survival work came in smaller bursts. Anthropologists studying hunter-gatherer groups have often found that direct food-gathering labor could take only a few hours a day, not 15 hours, 7 days a week, just to feel like you might someday get ahead. So when you feel crushed by work, debt, and constant financial pressure, that may not be a character flaw. It may be a mismatch. Your body is ancient, your payment schedule is modern, and the collision is expensive. Think about stress. In an older environment, danger was sharp and temporary. A hunt, a predator, a fight inside the group. The threat appeared, your body surged. Then the moment passed. Your system could return to baseline. That reset mattered. Without it, the body starts treating life itself like an emergency. Now look at your money life. The danger never fully leaves. Email at 9 p.m., rent due. Insurance renewal, groceries up again, layoffs in the news, a boss asking for more, a bank app sending another notification. Your body does not calmly separate actual tiger from overdraft fee. It reads pressure as danger. It keeps the alarm on. That is why you can sit in a chair all day and still feel destroyed by night. You are not exhausted because you did too little. You are exhausted because your system never shuts down. Every bill becomes a small predator. Every deadline becomes a chase. Every missed payment carries a social and financial consequence. In the ancient world, losing your tribe could kill you. In the modern world, losing income can feel like the same threat wearing different clothes. So now, let's talk about time, because this is where the money trap gets cruel. Modern life teaches you to manage time like a debt account. Every minute must be productive. Every empty hour must be monetized. If you rest, you feel guilty. If you work, you feel behind. If you finally earn more, the cost of living moves the finish line. Ancient humans did not wake up to a calendar packed with meetings. They did not measure their worth by inbox speed or quarterly performance. Time was not something to squeeze until it bled. It was something lived through food, movement, rest, people, repair, weather, story, sleep. But modern finance flipped that. Your paycheck buys survival, but it also trains you to surrender your hours first. And if all your income depends on constant availability, then your comfort is fragile. One job loss, one medical bill, one rent hike, one algorithmic layoff, and the life you built can start shaking. That is why "I am rich in time" is not just a cute sentence. It is a financial statement. Because if your money requires all your waking hours, you are not free yet. You may have income, but you do not have control. And control is the part ordinary people have to start fighting for. You are waking up tired, checking your bank app before your feet hit the floor, and telling yourself the same story again. More hours, more shifts, more sacrifice. Then, finally, life gets easier. But here is the thing that can quietly kill your money. Because if you work 15 hours a day, 7 days a week, you may feel productive, but your body is now making financial decisions in survival mode. You buy convenience food because you have no time. You pay late fees because your brain is fried. You ignore bills because opening them feels like danger. You don't compare insurance, subscriptions, interest rates, or job offers because every spare minute has already been sold. And here's why that matters. More work does not automatically mean more wealth. Sometimes it just means you are trading your most valuable asset, time, at the worst possible price. Ancient humans were not lazy because they stopped when the necessary work was done. They were responding to limits: hunt, gather, share, repair, rest. Modern life removed the stopping signal. Your inbox has no sunset. Your rent has no mercy. Your credit card balance keeps hunting you while you sleep. So now rethink productivity like a money problem, not a motivational quote. If an extra 10 hours of work leads to burnout, takeout, medical bills, bad decisions, and zero energy to build skills, that is not hustle. That is a leaking financial system. Protecting rest is not comfort, it is risk management. A rested person negotiates better, notices scams faster, cancels waste sooner, learns faster, and has the patience to make one clean decision instead of 5 desperate ones. That is why work-life balance is not just a lifestyle debate. Between the United States, the United Kingdom, and Europe, it is a wealth debate, and with AI changing who gets replaced and who gets leverage, the question is no longer, can you work more? The question is, can you design a life where your time compounds instead of disappears? Because being rich in money while poor in time is still a trap. But being rich in time gives you room to choose. You wake up, check your paycheck, check your rent, check the credit card balance, and before your feet hit the floor, your money is already in danger. And here's why. The modern economy does not just take your cash at the register. It takes it when you are tired. It takes it when you are overstimulated. It takes it when you have no quiet left in your day, and you start paying for convenience just to survive the next hour. So now, breaks are not a luxury. Stillness is not weakness. Time without a screen, without a cart, without another notification selling you something, is financial defense. Your brain needs space to make clean decisions. Without it, you don't budget. You react, you don't choose, you click. And that leak can kill your future wealth, slowly. Then comes connection, real conversations, shared meals, time with people who are not trying to monetize your attention. This matters more than people admit because isolation is expensive. When you feel disconnected, you buy comfort, you upgrade to feel seen. You spend to replace belonging. That is not a personality flaw. That is a money mechanism. And bring back play, move your body. Do things with no productivity target. Laugh without turning it into content. It sounds useless in a world that worships output, but it protects the asset that earns everything. You. Burned out people make worse money choices. They accept bad jobs longer. They impulse spend faster. They mistake exhaustion for ambition. But here's the thing. You do not have to disappear into the woods or quit your life to fix this. You just have to realign your day closer to the system you were built for. Focused work, real rest, strong people around you, empty space where your brain can recover. For hundreds of thousands of years, humans survived through rhythm, not nonstop extraction. Today, the bills say run faster. The apps say buy faster. The workplace says produce more, but your nervous system still has limits. And when you ignore them, the cost shows up somewhere. Debt, anxiety, burnout, bad decisions, lost years. So, the next time you feel guilty for slowing down, look at your bank account and ask the harder question. Are you really doing too little? Or is the system profiting because you are too exhausted to choose differently? Look at your paycheck. Look at your rent, your subscriptions, your grocery bill, the debt payment that hits before you even breathe. If your better life requires 15-hour days, 7 days a week, that is not ambition anymore. That is a trap with branding. And here's why. Money is supposed to buy back time. But for most people, the system quietly flips it. You trade more life for more comfort. Then, the comfort creates more bills. And the bills force you back into work. That loop could kill your future before you ever feel rich. So now, the question is simple. Are you actually building freedom or just funding exhaustion? Start measuring wealth in hours you own, not things you maintain. Cut one cost. Protect one block of time. Build income that gives you breathing room, because the life you want may not be gone. It may just be buried under payments you never questioned.